you're watching later. This is live series, but PlayStation 4 doesn't make it too easy. As I always have to say this up front, I'm just going to put a pause up here and and I guess let me get my settings, graphics, and all that stuff uploaded into YouTube so everything's searchable and findable, and then we will get started. So just give me 2 minutes. Alright guys, almost ready here. Set my description, make sure all that's good to go. Save everything. And what is up, Sean? How we doing, man? New face, welcome. Already got 5 on. Welcome to you guys. I'm glad I was able to do a middle of the day stream. That doesn't happen too often. What's going on, Addy FS? Hope you're doing well, my friend. This is just for you guys. What's going on, Carolina Farming? Wanted to update you, Carolina Farming. I am just about ready to upload the multiplayer video that you'd asked for in a comment. So that kind of breaks down all the options and the different settings and what best settings to run depending on what you want to do. So I've done that, and I will upload it as soon as we get done with the live stream. I feel like it's 3 o'clock my time Eastern, so I probably will go till about 5. So that's a couple of good hours worth of introductory logging. But decided that since we have got to update Chellington 17, and since we're no longer going to have the ability to use our old save game, I am deciding and making a decision that I really regret at some point. Going to have to do something. I added the money mod in to get myself 1 Scorpion King, 1 truck, 1 low loader, the IT runner set, and 1 tractor with a log fork. So I'm literally going, really going very low scale logging on this. Once I get some things updated with Lossberg, we plan on at that point go ahead and getting some things and buying some new tractors, and then starting to invite people. I would like to just go ahead and just buy it all and then have 6 people on the farm, but I want to be able to play this and enjoy it in my own time as well. So hopefully, that will start to happen. Chellington was getting there, then they updated it. So I will money mod myself back to the point to where I was before, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. I don't really have any choice over that. I will say I was working on a nice little video upload for that, and the phone would ring and something else would happen and the dog had to go out. So I was like, man, screw it. I'm just going to go live stream. This is going to be cool. So just a different slide. Well, for me, it was just a different slide. Okay. I'll have to look at that, Addy. What I'd said is that you wouldn't be able to use the new features of the map with the old save game, or at least it wouldn't be compatible. So I have not actually tried to upload the other one yet. So, Yeah, Sean, I'm not. If you, I assume you're talking. No, if you're talking subscription wise, or if you're talking on here subscription wise, or you're talking about PS4. If it is, I don't think I have any friend requests on here, so you'll have to send me one. Um, but anyway, let's get started here. I did a first look yesterday. I love this map. This map is definitely going to be a grow into map. This is not a small map. The fields are actually pretty large. Have some big ones on here, but you can also have lots of room to join fields together, which will be pretty cool. But you have really 3 or 4 main areas. And so we'll kind of look at. I'm actually wanting to go down to the very bottom of the map. We're going to look maybe southwest of 48. It's a cool little area. You've got a nice little field there to use as your landing spot to bring everything out, keep it nice and clean and tidy. So that's where I'm going to go first, and then that way we're actually right here, pretty close to the actual sawmill. We'll just be doing logging today, cutting and then loading, getting that stuff up there. At some point, we'll be buying wood chippers and all that other good jazz. So yeah. And I just want to do that so I can see the rotating beacon. And let's see. Yeah, on PS4. Okay. Natty, the forest on Chillington is very small. Yes, it is. I was trying to do a kind of a look at that map as to what the validity of doing logging on it was going to be. My assumption and my presumption on that. Get this big old mama jam out here. Here we go. Like a boss. Let's see. The one big thing about that one is that it's going to be one of those sustaining. It's going to be a sustaining forest. So once you're kind of looking on the backside, once you do say farming, do any kind of want to start looking at the maybe going down and doing something on the logging if you've planted trees. I wish it was a little bit bigger, but I have to say this, in all fairness, he's kind of added something that was never intended to be put in the map in the first place, and if anything, just to make console guys happy. So I have to give him credit on that one. It's a decent area. It's clean. It's nice. It looks good. But sawmill's operational, so I guess at any point you can go plant trees anywhere on that map you wanted to, which is definitely doable. But anyway, can you add me? I couldn't hear you. There shouldn't be any adding. You should be able to hear me straight through. You might want to check and make sure your mute's off. Because that might be a technical issue on your side. I love his 6-wheel Tatra. There's some really nice mod updates coming in. I saw a guy's got a nice flatbed to use with a twin star. So that's going to be really cool to see. He's even got trailers attached and ramps to drive up to. You can transport tractors, skid steers, I mean literally anything and everything. So that is going to be nice, and it's going to be exciting to see that come into play. So yeah, I mean, I hear you on that one, Sean. But adding on PS4 doesn't have anything to do with, with being able to hear me. Hey, what's going on, GG? G Gaming? How are you, man? Been a few live streams since I last saw you. Good to see some familiar faces don't get to see all the time just because I'm usually streaming pretty late at night. So good to see you guys. And let's see what we got here. Yep, so we got two. Love this. This is probably going to become, at least down here, this is going to become a little base of operation from a logging area, because every single one of these buildings opens up. Every one of them have actual outside street lighting, and they're all huge on the inside. So I think this is the only one right here that does not This is the only one right here that does not open up, but I mean, you've got 3 or other, plus you've got a washing station already here. I mean, this guy like fixed it completely up. So here, I had to keep the old case, man. I love this old case. It's awesome. So basically just kept that and got the 700 here with the fork. Now, if you're asking, the yellow and the green is actually the FTG color scheme. It's actually a Fent green and the JCB yellow mixed together. So those are two actual decent colors that we have. So I figured I was going to use those for kind of more of a logo creative FTG. So when people come in, most of the trailers and all the other stuff will be colored up to resemble the FTG color. So that's cool. So even the farm is branded. Cool, man. I'm glad. Man, you don't know how many times I racked my brain, because one thing I started doing was every single episode playlist from a different map's getting a different color. So, Lossberg got the Fent green. Chillington actually has the New Holland yellow with the blue underneath that as a drop shadow. And then we have our vanilla maps all are in white, fittingly. And so I guess as we get on, we've got Massey red and the case red. We've got JCB yellow that we could do. So just trying to change it up. So each one is color coded, so if you don't have to sit there and read through a bunch of descriptions. And just a note of clarification on some of this is every single one of the things that I'm doing on those episodes, the picture reflects what it's about. So instead of trying to cover everything up with all these gaudy graphics everywhere, it will actually have the picture of what it's featuring, whether it's farm stuff or whether or not it's going to be featured in some other type of like logging or anything like that. So just for nice future reference. And I'm going to put this on the ground just because it's a little bit easier for those other tractors to actually use, and I'm just going to use the green one for right now. It's probably going to need the power on it. Yeah, I still don't understand what you're saying, Sean. I know you asked me a minute ago, but there's no adding that I need to do for you to be able to hear me. Everything should come straight across on the app, on YouTube, or if you're looking through PlayStation. Yep, no problem, man. Welcome to those that may be watching, especially if you're a first timer. If you enjoying the content, most of it live stream is. I'm still learning how to get around with live streaming. I'm trying to take my cues and off of different guys that have really kind of set a way forward for especially the gaming stream. Encoding through PS4 is a little different, so I don't have quite the options, but definitely going to be upgrading here in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to actually be running into Game Show and actually broadcasting stuff, which is going to be cool. So I'll have a lot more info to show and share, so that should be really, really, really nice. Okay, yeah. I mean, I hear you. Yeah, that's kind of what's throwing me. It's kind of what. Yeah, you're right. That's kind of what I was getting at, Sean. There's no need to necessarily. One thing too. I mean, I'll just go on and let you guys know. I mean, part of my thing is I can add you on my thing, but I'm not necessarily going to play with you, and I don't want that to be a reason for you to not do the content. I mean, as I get more and more people, one of our things at FTG that we have said all along that we're going to do, and something that we're going to continue to do, is once these farms and maps that we have get built up, for us to enjoy them, we can't just mod a bunch of money in. So we really want to try to do them as legitly as possible, so that we really enjoy what we do. Because if we don't enjoy it, then making videos is going to suck. So at some point, the more active guys in the chats, the communities, the whatever kind of stuff we've got going on, those guys are going to get invitations to come do stuff, just because they've really plugged into the community as a whole. And that's really the only thing we're going to do. It's not really, subscribing and donating or anything like that doesn't get you any spot. We just want guys that are helpful, that want to be and really kind of help see the sim succeed. That's really all that we're really after on this one. So I hope you understand on that. That's the only thing, man. Because eventually, at some point, Full Tilt Gaming and Full Tilt Farming, I hope, will be a brand inside of a brand. It was kind of always set up to be that way in the beginning. Kind of a group kind of run by the guys for the guys, so to speak. So that's kind of what we wanted it to be from the get-go. Yeah, no, I appreciate that, Addy. Yeah. No, and I mean, that's the other thing, guys. We definitely are going to start adding in some guys. We really just want to get through Christmas break, get some of these farms built up, get kind of a, let's see, I need to check one thing here. Yeah, let's turn this on just so I can see what meter I'm at. We'll turn time scale up. And 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we're there, and I'll turn that back off. So those guys, like Addy himself, he has been. We do actually have Twitter as well, so you can follow Full Tilt on that as well. Trying to keep that active with all our live stream, our videos to get added in. If you don't do the YouTube app or anything like that, so you can kind of check it out and, going forward. I just set it up like as of a couple days ago, so if it's only got like 10 followers or something, don't think that's like a, like, oh, this is ridiculous. Yeah, I featured you. I featured some guys on there. I featured Oxygen David because he, the creator of Chillington, subbed to the channel, and so I added in some of the other guys. So maybe every couple of days or so I'll switch that up. I'm all for the added bonus of featuring guys on the channel, just because I mean at some point I'm going to want someone to feature me. So. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely not your typical guy that's this is my territory and I don't want no one stepping on it. I'm actually trying to break into everybody else's territory, so I have to be honest about it. I do like to try to do as much as I can from inside the cab. That's definitely an added challenge, but now that we have actual sensitivity controls on the camera, it makes it so much easier. I wish now we could get the actual items a little faster in there. It'd be kind of nice, but I guess I'll take what I can get, right? What's going on, Johnny? I'm doing good, man. It's a day on the farm, and I've got a little bit of time off to myself here from just everyday life stuff. So yeah, man, things are great. All right, you're not gonna let me cut you down, huh? There it goes. If anybody out there is watching, definitely got some mods came in today. Got some maps. Update to Chillington, I should say, not Chillington. Wood mill, sawmill, forestry area. It's not big, but it's still trees to cut down and a place to plant trees so that you can cut them down and sell them. Well, I'm trying to get the YouTube stuff set up. If you follow the way that this is the difficult part I was telling you about. When I move to Game Show, it's going to be a lot easier because the way that PS4 works inside of, come on, not gonna let me cut this tree. There it goes. The way that YouTube works with PS4 is it uses the PS4 as like an encoder. So it doesn't allow you to set up default settings and default graphics as well as set up events. So eventually at some point, there's two ways we can do it now. And now one of those is the discussion tab on the page. There's lots of discussion tab that you can actually access, and it's kind of like a public place to post comments and discussion. I'm totally left that open, so it is not being moderated. So please feel free to drop lines of what you might want to see, videos you might want to see done and made in a series. Anything like that is complete game for it. Hopefully, when all that gets through and you do game show, you can actually set up events and do live stream events that people actually get notifications for. And that's something that I don't have on there right now. So the only way to do it is jump in through PS4. Oh, crap. Is jump through our PS4 community, which is Full Tilt Farming, if you're on PS4. But if you're on Xbox and you want to kind of keep up with the console stream, then you'll need to jump into the discussion on the YouTube discussion sheet. So that's kind of the workaround I've got to do right now, at least until I get that done, and then we should be in a better place come the new year. Man, these little trees do not want to cut down. I cannot get this thing to cut it. Wonder if a chainsaw will cut it. Yeah, I guess so. What's going on, JKD Gamer? How are you, man? Seen a lot of fresh names, man. This is great. I've usually stream a lot late at night, so it's definitely cool to see some new faces. I would love to see some new logging stuff come out. I don't know if it's going to. New mods in the way of logging. Love to see some new stuff come out, but we'll just have to see. It doesn't want to grip onto these trees either. There it goes. Nope. Well, might be moving forest and none of these trees will cut down. Damn. Kind of aggravating. Yeah, which map you doing, Johnny? You doing working on Lossberg, or you up on Chellington, up in the new Bedfordshire sawmill? Yeah, I kind of I'd rather just get my wheel loader and do it, but since my wheel loader is probably like the only piece left, I was like, well, I figured I'll chop some trees down until I get to that point. I did mod myself enough money, because after Chillington and having to look at possibly a map redo, I was like, crap, this is going to suck. So having to rebuild 2 complete farms from scratch. I do like the farming, I just get tired of it. Logging's really my thing. I enjoy the logging, especially when you get some guys on there. But I figured I'd do some live stream, and sometime here after Christmas we'll start really boosting up the involvement on stream and getting some guys involved. So alright, and those that are watching later, Carolina Farming's just thinking of a new logging stuff, because when you have to cut with a chainsaw, you could use a loader like the ones mounted on the back of the semi-trailer. Yeah, there's a lot of things that I think they could really do for console logging. I think some of them could be adapted from PC. They just need to be reworked for console. I don't know if any of that will ever happen, but FDR's got some good use stuff, but it looks terrible from a texture-wise. I mean, it looks like somebody colored on the cab with a crayon. So I don't know if that could be updated. The cranes and the usage of the cranes and stuff, I think, is something that can definitely be. Wow, these stupid trees are doing this. For whatever reason, logging in especially in anything going down the hill, the trees, the end of the trees, if they're coming down the hill, they typically want to go up the hill, which doesn't make sense, but it's literally the way the tree falls. I've yet to figure out how to really make them go the other way. Even if you pull them, it's almost impossible because they just want to go the opposite way that physics tells them it should go. Yep, and Daddy Lossberg is definitely a logging map. It's good both. I think this is going to be one of those maps that lends itself. I would say this is the comparable Bjornholm-ish stylish map. This is just, it's got a little bit of everything. It kind of does have that farming complex feel to it. At least that's what I think. I wonder if I can use this tree stump as my... Let's see if I can use this tree stump as my wedge. Yeah. I like the animal areas. I guess it's going to be I guess I would say if I had to just give a one sentence review on it, you're either going to like the map or you're going to hate it. And the way that I mean that is you're either going to like the complexy feel to it, where you do have this atmosphere that it's a conglomeration of farmers in a very modern but rural Germany. I think all this is in German. I've been to Erding, Germany, which is kind of the same way. It does have an old school flavor, but it is very, very, very modern, and it's a rural town with lots of agriculture and farming. So this actually is a little bit, I guess you could say, familiar for me. But nonetheless, it's still a great map. It's laid out. There's been a lot of thought into detail. I mean, it still amazes me every single time I get out here. It amazes me how many of how much of these mods, especially for PCs, had to enjoy for so much time. It's all free. I still, I couldn't imagine doing this much work for nothing. I mean, I've put some work into YouTube, but dadgum, man, these guys have done a lot. Oh, for those watching later, the reason I'm laughing is Curtis writes into the chat, got my cookies and milk, now I'm watching your stream. Good. STR, neither stuff or stream, whichever. I'll take either or. And the cookies and milk by themselves are good. So, yeah, good times are to be had. Party at Curtis's house. This is a pretty ugly looking little log stock here, but, well, I was kind of hoping I could go up in strips, and it's kind of starting to work now. I think I've got my level figured out, but this is the way I typically log. I log it out in strips. I'll just go up the hill, pull it down, and then I'll at some point come and try to straighten everything up. It works better when I've got a skid steer, but that's about the only other thing that I thought, well, I'll leave that and use that for purchase. My only thing with this map that I do not like is the crane controls are backwards than everything else. I don't know if that's something quick update that they can throw in there. Oh, come on, this thing is not going to cut. Having all kind of trouble with this. Let me see when it's actually making good air. Oh, so wow, so you got to be really far away from the tree. Okay, I'll take it. I forgot what I was going to say. Maybe somebody could remind me. Totally forgot what I was talking about. Yeah, I tried to, man. I tried to, the great thing, and I'll say this, and for those watching later, Michael just said he just, he loved, well, I'll say loved watching me, but I'm not going to say it weird. That he liked to watch me move around, they really enjoyed it, and I would just second that by saying I don't like to watch someone just sit still on a map. You know, I will take that and just say moving around on different maps and doing different things. I will say this: I love Chillington, and I love it for a completely different reason than I do this one. This one is got that modern kind of almost say Bjornholm feel with the old school flavor, and this one, you know, in Chillington, it's just got that rugged kind of, you know, we've got hedges for borders instead of fences, so you know we're like the all organic rural outsiders, and I just love it, man. Chillington's probably been my favorite map out of everything that's been done so far, and I'm including everything for 15 that we had. I will say this: I don't. It wouldn't be anything not to say. It's just a perceived notion of Chillington and Oxygen David. He also said in one of the forum posts that they thought this was going to be the final version. It was going to be the final version, that he was going to release this as a final update, that there would not be any updates, which actually he threw a lot of stuff into this update. It's actually quite big. And he threw all that stuff together and said that he would be using that time to work on other projects. So I don't know if any of you guys have gone into YouTube and looked up Mapper's Paradise. That is the group that he was a member of for the FS15 maps. So that only, for me, says that there's a big possibility that he is going to be working on another possible map conversion for FS17, as well as making that one happen for consoles as well. So, I was not expecting that. Login, and what is this, sunflowers? Well, that's embarrassing. I forgot this field wasn't mine. Oh, that'll be good for the stream. I'll tell Farmer Brown he's just going to have to hang on. Well, I appreciate that, Michael. I have a lot of time into logging. It was one of my favorite things in 15, and the only thing that's hard is loading, just because you're dealing with a perception issue, a depth perception issue, that it's hard to see that and see what you're really what's going on all around you. That's the only thing that I don't like. But there's not really much to do that. We don't have any kind of tracker software. So it just kind of, I do have to get outside of the cab every now and again. So, you know. And I didn't even think about this, but I hope these 8-meter logs fit in that trailer. I think they will. Yeah, I guess they will. Mike could get away with, yeah, they're going to stick out a little bit, but they're going to work. Yep. I did see there was a really cool mod, port over Portland Bill and possibly Coldborough. Yeah. Coldborough is awesome. Portland Bill is kind of the same style as Chillington. I wouldn't say it's terribly different, but it's got some different features. Another one that I've kind of always wanted to see was Thornton Farm, which I know the Mapper's Paradise is responsible for that one. I'm not sure if that's him, but it is part of that crew that he's associated with on FS15. So hopefully that stuff will continue to roll out, because having a different way to expand this game, because you got to think we haven't even gotten a DLC from Giants yet, and there's really no telling what we could have. It could be some really just awesome stuff. Then again, it could be, you know, simple tractor updates. Actually, I'm going to move this trailer. I'm not going to do all that driving. Better do this. I love the ITs, man. These IT runners, man, it's like my favorite. This thing should start shaking. Yeah. For those watching later, Patty just commented about Coldborough would be awesome to see. Yes, for those watching later, Michael, I do grind down the stump. I just have What I did for this map, just so people kind of know, what I did for this one was I actually used the money mod because I've built up 4 farms now, and then Chillington come out with an update that said I was going to have to rebuild that one. So I actually may activate that money mod just to buy this field so I don't have to get all this in there. I guess the one thing I could do is slow down time. That will alleviate that and stop that from happening. But yeah, but I'm going to buy the skid steer. It's got a great stump grinder on it. I love using it. So I'll buy it, and then I'll buy my wheel loaders and start building that up. I just didn't want to inject myself with all that money at first, because it really does, for me, it does kind of ruin the game. I was actually okay that they got rid of the money mod, and then I was really happy they added it back in when I saw that Chillington was going to have possibly a new game save. So I was like, okay, I'll give it to him. I'm glad I have that now. So. And I would use a telehandler, but surprisingly the telehandler long fork sucks right now. So hopefully they'll fix that. I don't know that they will, but hopefully they will. Let's see if I can do a little cleanup here. Yep, the tractor fork is by far the best, and I would love it, and I don't know why, but I would love it if Giants would just come out with a very simple adapter plate mod that would allow neither fix the one we've got now, or or fix a plate that would allow the tractor wheel loader mods to go in the front of the telehandler. That would be a extremely usable mod that I think like anybody that does any amount of logging will get a lot out of, because it's kind of hard to do this without a wheel loader, and to expect someone to get started out with logging with nothing but nothing, with the telehandler not working, that's kind of a tall order. I mean, it takes a lot of work with neither this thing or the other, and it's impossible. I mean, almost the silage fork. Let me make sure I tell you right. If you go over to telehandlers and yes, the manure fork. So if you use the manure fork, it actually works pretty good, man. I mean, you can't grapple onto the log, but if you're pretty, especially if you're picking up a lot of those little small pieces at the end of the tree that don't really give you much, but they basically all they do is give me is a headache. If you use those, they actually work fairly good. Especially picking up a good little chunk of those small stuff. Not to mention that big, the big claw on it. I mean, it actually does pretty good, just moving and kind of evening everything out. So if y'all haven't used the manure fork, go grab one. It's actually not too bad. So we got some new guys watching. I saw the numbers go down and come back up. So just want to make sure that I officially welcomed you guys to the channel and to the stream. If you do like that content, do what every other YouTuber tells you to do. You can just lightly click the like button and very quietly subscribe to the channel. That'd be great. We would be doing lots of live streams every night. I love live streaming almost better than I do the videos, because it's kind of the unaltered, unedited version of what I'd really want to say. So I think you kind of get more of an honest reflection when you're looking at it from that particular perspective. Let's see, that's them logs. I wish they'd fix that. That thing's dancing in between my fork. Yeah, I think like I was saying, I think I got off subject a little bit before. I was thinking about just better ways to messing with the crane. Usually starting out, I only pick up the big stuff, and then I will leave all this small stuff. Eventually, at some point, I'll have a chipper. I will also buy this field just so I can use this as my landing area. Maybe put a shed or two down here as money starts rolling in. But you know, there's still something kind of cool. Once you kind of do start to clean up an area that you would have, that big warehouse area to keep all your stuff, clean it up, put it back in storage, and then start looking at a different area to farm. So I'm excited about that. I'm an organizational guy. I'm a storage guy. So I'm excited about things possibly coming later on in this map, just being able to utilize all the buildings that we have, because it is a ton of them. Oh, that's great, man. I appreciate that. Some of them get long. I apologize for that, but you know, we get comments rolling in. We get good chat conversation going on, which I love because that helps the stream just be better. You know, after all, we're all, you know, neither watching. I mean, I watch live stream all the time. I mean, there's a couple guys. I love Landy Kid's videos. He does a solid job with videos that he does, and they're well produced. Actually, I'm not going to put all this small stuff in there. He does a good job with his live videos and his other videos that he does. There's a few other guys that I do like. But yeah, man, I mean, I watch live stream too. I mean, that's how I've kind of picked up some ideas of how to do, you know, stuff on the PS4. And I mean, the whole reason for me doing it was just because there wasn't that. There's some guys streaming. They're just not really doing much interaction with the community as a whole. Not doing much through YouTube in the way of doing it, unless they're you know, major players on Twitch or something like that. I didn't mind Twitch, but I liked YouTube better because I had a little bit better of a base on YouTube to start with, so that's kind of where I've just left it here on YouTube. Yeah, I appreciate you watching, man. It makes a difference. I'm always surprised when I get done and I see that people have actually tuned in far enough to be counted as a view. I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. I've kind of caught myself the same thing doing, but I just don't know that there's a lot of people out there that would do the same, so I certainly appreciate that. There's just something therapeutic about doing this. I'd rather do the big wheel loader, but this is still nice. And I do have, if anybody's curious, this is the Fendt 700 with the wheel loader. I only got it because of the green. And normally I would pick, you know, the Valtra or something like that just for the reverse drive. But yeah, this is a good tractor, and I've got the heaviest weight on the back, so you could handle the actual base tree trunk logs there. Because without the heaviest one, it's gonna be a little bit light. Yes, Addy, for those watching later on, starting multiplayer on this map or Chillington, yes, I will. I wanted to do just some stuff with my kind of figuring the map out myself, and also streaming that and staying with the chat. I will, like I said before, just especially within the community and those guys on PS4 that can play along. You know, those guys that are plugged in, that watch streams, that give feedback, and just, I mean, it's not a case of sucking up. That's not what it is. It's literally just guys that seem visually interested in making the community better, helping out in the community itself, to those guys that have no idea what they're doing. I've gotten quite a few guys in there that really just don't have a clue. So I may be kind of looking at maybe starting up like Division, if you've got any Division players in here. Division had started a kind of like a level up Friday, I believe is what they called it, where a lot of the veterans would offer themselves up to be able to kind of help some of the guys just starting out. Because when you have guys that start out from the bottom and get started into the game, and they're helped out, it's good for the community as a whole. So I'm all about community building when it comes to stuff like this, because you know, I love gaming. I mean, I'll never stop. I mean, I'm 34, and I started when there was Super Mario with the NES. I was a little bit after the Atari, But then you had The Legend of Zelda and the first Battlefield Star Wars that came out with the Nintendo 64. I mean, you just had all these classic, iconic titles, and I was kind of around for the inception of all that. So I just don't think I'll ever stop. Maybe at some point, if life just gets in the way so bad that I have to stop, that'd be the only reason. But it surely won't be out of sheer choice. I can assure you that. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Yeah, for those watching later, Michael said he bought an Xbox One and Farm Sim 17, and so now they farm together a couple hours. Yeah, man, that's awesome. I've got a 4-year-old daughter, and I do the same thing with her. She's not quite on her motor skills aren't enough to be able to. Her hands aren't big enough to hold the controller, but I'll do pretty much the driving, or at least the steering, and she does the gas and brake, and I'll call out the shapes on the controller, man, and she loves going and picking up stuff and dumping stuff, and yeah, it's good times, man. To keep her entertained for about an hour and a half. So we'll kind of see as she gets older whether or not she still kind of keeps in with gaming. If she does, that'll be great. I'll love it. Let's have to see what Mama thinks. Mama might not like it, but I don't care. Yes, you do have to pay for a PSN subscription, but it's just a subscription that you can pay per year. I think it's $50. It may be a few more dollars by now. But yes, you can do it through there, and multiplayer on Farm Sim is included with that subscription. Yes, I will love that. Oh, phone call. Hang on just a second, guys. Don't go anywhere. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Gonna have to go here in just a few. Got a little bit of a, not really a house emergency, but got a little something going on here, so I'll have to go take care of some things. Got a rearranged schedule, and that's okay. But I will be on tonight streaming for those that may want to get in a little bit later. So that's just during the day. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So anyway. Let me catch up on some stuff. Yes, Paul, I will be streaming. Obviously, I answered you. I will see you then. We'll probably be doing some Lossberg logging. What's going on, Dennis? The Big D. Good to see you, man. I feel like I'm playing a PC, man. Got all these new maps and these new mods came out today. I'm just like, woo, this is great. And Carolina Foreman have to pay. You just have to pay for. It's like Xbox Live. PSN has or PlayStation has a multiplayer setup just like Xbox Live. So if you want to do multiplayer and play with friends and other people, you have to pay for that subscription from Sony. But now the multiplayer on Farm Sim is free, so you don't have to worry about paying for that. It comes with it, but it's included as part of your PSN stuff. So I hope that clarifies that. I may have not said that right earlier. Awesome, Jay. Appreciate that, bro. I'll have a lot of fun. Hopefully, as things kind of continue to grow, just to let you guys know as well. I mean, I've got an actual formidable logo now that's marketable with FTG. So I mean, I'm possibly with the FTG gaming and farming kind of franchise. I'm hoping that I might be able to do some cool swag, some koozies with the logo, maybe even some t-shirts, something like that. I'm just trying to do something a little bit out of the ordinary, something that's it's pretty cool. It's relatively inexpensive, but definitely really helps kind of build up that community brand. So at some point I'll be trying to market that and do some videos and stuff online of just kind of setting that stuff up. So I got some good plans for the end of the year, so I'm glad you guys are around. My next goal obviously is 250 subs. I can't believe I've only been doing it for about 3 weeks, so hopefully things continue in this direction. I'll be ecstatic if they're even half of my what I would like to hit. I'll be ecstatic if I get half of that. So every little bit helps, and I certainly appreciate it. Addie, I will try to be doing it earlier tonight. Depends, getting the daughter in bed and just kind of getting to where it's daddy time. Yeah, that's important. But sometimes daddy time has to wait just a little bit. I'll pick this thing straight up off its. I don't even know if this tractor's going to pull this set of logs. If it doesn't, well, yeah. All right, it's on a struggle though. I'll take it. Is this rolling? Puma plow. I'm hoping hoping things keep going in a good direction. That'll keep the wife off my back. So if you guys do share and all that stuff, then I can stay on this. You don't want to upset the boss lady. Got to keep the boss lady happy. So even though that's daddy time, it surely would help. Got all that stuff going on. She's gonna be like, okay, well, this is pretty legit. So I'm like, yeah, this is legit. At some point or another, it stops becoming playing games. I told her the other night, I tell you this, I told her the other night, I was like, hey, said, when you going to bed? And she was like, why? Are people going to watch your live stream? I said, well, yeah, some people will. She just laughed and rolled her eyes, and she was like, whatever. I said, hurry up. I said, I have fans to entertain. And she didn't like that comment. But I didn't care. It's all good. I missed my turn, so I'm going to screw a Louie right here. This tractor actually surprisingly pulls this trailer really well. Yeah, man. Mom it anyway. It's my wife, but yes. But she is a mom to the daughter, so yes. If she ain't happy, nobody is happy. So it's always a good thing. Always a good thing to keep Mama happy. What's going on, Clayton? Good to see you, bro. Missed you on the streams last night and the night before. We'll be carrying on tonight. You know, be doing some more logging on Lossberg, and I don't know, figure out what we're going to do the next couple of weeks. I'll be able to jump between at least the 2 new maps, so I am excited about that. It's going to be nice. What's going on, first to be last? How are you? It's a catchy title, first to be last. Second place is the first loser. Sounds like it belongs on a No Fear shirt. I don't know if y'all know what No Fear shirts were, but they were big back in my day. So I love this this little logging depot right here. This thing is awesome. I'm a big fan of the crane in this game. So anytime I get a chance to use the crane, I'm not a huge fan of the train, but yes, I will be using this crane all the time. I will use the trains and the cranes on Goldcrest just because. I will take one, load them on the train. I'll take the cranes and load from one train to the next train. Then I'll drive that train up to the sawmill and use that crane to pull the logs off for, you know, a measly $10. I think a log is what they pay out, it seems like. Oh, it's good stuff. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that a lot. Like somebody's been in my shed. It's a little bit tight through here. I could do without maybe this building on the left or maybe the one on the right, maybe, or push back a little bit. I do see getting a big load in here is probably going to be a little challenging. But yeah, we'll see here. All right, and my favorite part. Take your straps off so you don't pull the whole thing. Don't really like this map. It's too clustered. See, I told you guys, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. Yeah, unfortunately. Oh, see, this is backwards. Okay, so on the cranes on Goldcrest, if you're in this position, if you hit the L1 bumper and go to the right, it's supposed to take the crane to the right. But when you hit right on the thumbstick, it takes you left. So that is going to have to be fixed because that is completely aggravating. Everything else seems to work like it should. It's just going to take a little bit of getting used to, and that is if they don't update it. Hopefully they will. Viewpoints on this are good. Come on, don't drop anything. I don't have to pick it up. Easy does it. Up, up, up. Always lose a few. Oh, 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 oh. Ah. There we go. All right. Not a lot of money, even for logging. It's much easier to do chipping. Chipping just gets boring after a while. And it's almost like farming. It's aggravating to chip too. Comes to the very maps I can feel. Yeah, yeah, Gary. I'd say the same exact thing. For those that will not see this later on, Gary just said PS4 comes out with better maps, like in 15. Yeah, there was good maps. I would venture to say it probably at some point they may do an update on those to where you can do. I know a lot of people have been requesting Westbridge. They've been requesting Westbridge and Bjornholm for 17. I don't know that they'll come out with those, but as long as the community and especially the PC map modders and stuff, as long as they keep coming out with stuff, I'm going to be A-okay because there's some really great maps that are still out there, and I will definitely be looking forward to seeing some of those actually come in. Now, I think I need to do some testing on this. Maybe I'll test and they'll come back tonight. Over there at the freight yard, they have almost, if you drive around to the back side of the building, they have a sell point for logs, it looks like. So I'm assuming that that is going to be a lot like Sosnovka. And if any of you are out for, if you're into Sosnovka and you've actually done it, it's one of the vanilla maps. If you go over there and actually look at those, they have the whole entire thing where you can actually send the train off. So that's something that that looks like you can do that here as well. So that means you might be able to do double the amount of damage on your logs. So if you do roughly, I don't know, let's say if you do roughly 50,000 worth of logs and you send the train off, you should get that 50 in return. So really, yeah, man, still alive. I'll be on live just for maybe the next few. I'm gonna get over and get this taken back over, and then I'll probably have to go for a bit. But I will be coming back in later on tonight. So I will continue live streaming logging from Lossberg tonight. So if I get started early enough, I hope to see you there. If that's possible, but if not, hopefully I will continue. It's a little crazy during the Christmas season right now, but typically I have at least 2 or 3 days during the day that I actually have time in the afternoon to play. So so hopefully it'll still continue to go in a good direction on that. It just is a little crazy here because I got the girls home from school, so it's you know, kind of hard to do a live stream with all that stuff going on in the background. So hopefully things will kind of level out a little bit towards the beginning of the new year. We'll get a chance to get game show and some other stream device stuff all set up, get it all working. So I'm really looking forward to it. It's gonna be a good turn of the year. I'm excited. Yeah, man. I've been working on an actual marketable logo. For those maybe that are new in the channel or new on the stream right quick, one thing I did, I come up with a new logo that maybe is going to be marketable for small end stuff. Like if I mean, you know, like the stickers that you buy every time you go out somewhere, they have the white and black stickers, you know, the FTG or the logo stickers, maybe even possibly doing a t-shirt with a logo on it just for the Full Tilt Gaming, and then have the logo on it. I had to have something that was not copyright infringement, so that was one thing that I've decided to do on that. So should be kind of cool. So hopefully I'll be able to do some contests and some free kind of swag giveaways. So hopefully we'll kind of see how that progresses. Be a little bit before I get any kind of a storefront or up. I'm gonna have to really, yeah, I'm gonna have to really get my subscribership up and some other things so the, you know, so the wife won't fuss at me every time I go get another order of t-shirts, especially if they're giveaways. So at some point, may have a store open that you can actually buy from. Then the other part will be some giveaways. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind. That's something I definitely want to do, because I actually want to get my own shirt made, which, you know, that really does not make her make her happy, but oh well. So let's see if we catch up on some chat here. Yes, I am uploading. Yes, Carolina, I will upload it as soon as this is over. I'll set it in motion, so it should be processed within, I'd say, by my supper time, which is 4 o'clock. So I'd say within an hour and a half, it'll be up on the channel, and you'll be able to, it'll be the newest thing on, so you can find it there, or it'll be under the episodes and walkthroughs playlist. Wolf Gaming, I do as well. I didn't think I like it. I like the farming areas. I'm not farming areas, the animal areas. I was interested in those because I saw them on Landy's stream, and they're quite different. I mean, everything's clean. My favorite is the sheep area. I don't know why, but I really like the sheep area. It's good. I was like, wow, okay, this is definitely different, but different in a good way. Yeah, man. You know, it's the logo's got its little it's got its little thing. Another thing I was going to do, I'm actually started working on them. I don't know. You guys could just kind of chime in if it's something you wanted or not. But I think as maybe this brand grows, if it does, something I was wanting to do was give away. I've got to find a good way to do contests. That's the one thing I'm struggling with. I want the contest. I want people to be able to enter it and feel safe that they're not giving their information away to something that they shouldn't be. Because I sure as heck don't want it. But there's not too many services that allow you to run contests on YouTube and Twitch without gathering emails and that kind of stuff. And I just don't want my subscribers to be subject. That's just that's not a good way to do business. So I'm trying to find a really good, solid way to do it. Besides, the only other way I can do it is doing a cam and doing drawings right out of the hat. So, which is a little bit, wow, man, you're really technologically advanced over here at FTG. So I think once I get the game show stuff going, I want to be able to transfer files to guys so easily and securely and safely. So I want to do iPhone 6, iPhone 7, Android device backgrounds that have the logo and either a picture of a favorite tractor or something like that. It can be customized, as well as doing some widescreen backgrounds, desktop backgrounds for iPad, any of the tablets for Android. So that's kind of something I am planning. That would be something that'd be easy in the near future. Gleam, yes, I saw Gleam, and I wasn't unimpressed, but it's definitely an interface that kind of leaves much to wonder, like what it looks like. So now that I've actually got a logo and stuff, it might actually be a formidable place to do some business. But I'll definitely check them out again. Come on. Another thing too, I have found out. I had some one of the other kind of FTG partners. He's in the UK, but we were sitting here discussing this one night, and one of the a lot of YouTubers use Gleam. Okay, all right. Well, I'll check that out then. I appreciate the shout out on them to them. I'll definitely check them out and see what they got, and try giving that a whirl and see what happens with it. But I was talking with my buddy, and another thing logging, someone had said they really were having a problem with the logs shimmying back and forth. One thing that I can say now, it's not always as easy once you get the wheel loader. It gets a little bit more difficult to do this, but all these little logs with the little points on the end, all of these things wreak havoc because there's a collision zone with them, but that collision zone completely goes crazy whenever you get a log around it. So if you can sift those out and throw them off to the side and just do the logs themselves, you'll have much better results of logging on this map. We're actually logging on any of it in 17. It's just different. You really didn't have a big problem with them, but they create a huge issue when they get around the other logs, especially the other full-size logs. So just, keep that in mind. It's a little tidbit of the day there. And the other thing is, if you remember, you used to be able to ratchet down the logs and really cinch them into the claw tightly. Nowadays, if you do that, it'll almost like weasel itself out sideways. And if it weasels it out sideways, or if you notice that log is not seated very good in there, if you just back the claw off just ever so slightly, it seems like it does actually lock it in. It locks it in a little bit better. So I'm going to pick out this one log here, see if I can get it to do it. There we go. So you can see how it's moving me. I'm not doing that. Typically, whenever you start ratcheting it down, you see it moving the tractor. So anyway, when you start moving it, you see how it's shimmying back and forth. If you just release off that just ever so slightly, it'll stop that. So I kind of have figured that one out. That kind of helps, especially on the wheel loader. If you see that thing shaking around because you've got about 10 logs in the claw, just back it off just a little bit and it'll stop that. I don't know if it stops the physics engine in motion. I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it works. So I'll take it. Catch up on some comments here. Gleam, it's good for giveaways. A lot of users think Gleam might ask to type in an email, just notify the person. Yeah, and I think that's fine. Most people have, if they're actually entering stuff like that, then they're okay with getting emails. I just want to make sure that some of those sites, when they do get the emails from those people that win and enter the giveaways, sometimes they start spamming them from Gleam or advertisers that are buying emails from them. So that's always something to take note of. I don't want anyone to start getting a bunch of spam from an unknown source that's gotten something because of something I did. Just definitely don't want that kind of bad press. But I will definitely check Gleam out and see what they've got, because I definitely want to get at least something going on. So, but anyway, I'm going to leave it right here, guys. I would love to continue going, but I'm going to need to do a few things here at the house. I'm going to have to go get my daughter. I'm having a little bit of issue with that. So anyway, I will be on stream tonight. I would say probably somewhere in the neighborhood between 10 and 11 p.m. I will say this one thing that you probably can do is you can look on the discussion tab. In that discussion tab on the main page, I will actually try to put out some scheduling of when I'm actually going to try to do it. So if I do that, you can kind of check back there periodically if you're saying, well, I wonder if he's going to stream tonight. See if it's going to be on there. I usually try to do it by 11 o'clock. I'm streaming, but I like to try to get a little bit earlier start so I can catch some East Coast guys. So follow, if you've got Twitter, follow Full Tilt. That's the Twitter handle, and that's to FTG. And obviously like and subscribe on here. It's been fun. You guys have been great in chat. I definitely appreciate that. And hopefully tonight we'll continue doing a little bit of logging on Lossberg, and we'll see what's going on. So appreciate it, guys. We'll see you tonight.